coming to the Lord, leaving the Catholic Church, coming here. So it was really crowded here and empty in the Catholic Church. We have several baseball teams on the roster that T.E.A.R.S supports. Nice place for the kids to play. There are hundreds of those alleys and little walkways that go all the way up the side of the hill. And they all have little shanties that people have been building.
Okay, so the garbage truck comes only once every couple weeks for people to dump their garbage.
We got a contract with the government. We're able to get a grant for fiber optics. So they're working here earlier this morning. All the wires that you see right there, the little box up top is where they're bringing the fiber in from. So they have to be here and then they go all the way back to other complexes over here.
So all their schools, T.E.A.R.S schools, they'll have fiber optic network.
Hey Rod, you have 78 students, age 1 to 3. Okay, so they have 78 students in this preschool, T.E.A.R.S does, the T.E.A.R.S mission organization, and their ages are 1 to 3.
This is where we got our first church that's been fixed up since. This is where the Catholic Church locked us out when we started having a bunch of converts. And they said, oh, you can't use it anymore.
So this was the first church, before they fixed it up nice like it is, that they had. And the Catholic Church didn't like these Pentecostal Christians up in here. And so the Catholic Church locked the Pentecostal Christians out of their own church. And it wasn't as nice as it is now back then, but they still didn't like these, people who were not part of the Catholic Church being in here worshiping.
And there were too many people coming to the Lord and leaving the Catholic Church, coming here. So it was really crowded here and empty in the Catholic Church. So the priest at that time called me aside and he said, Rodrigo, you're going to have to stop doing what you're doing. And I said, I'm not doing that. God's doing it. And he said, if you don't stop doing what you're doing, you might wind up like some of the others with cement boots. Catholic priest told me that. And I'm like, okay. Short is connected to that. The short version, we started becoming friends and talking a lot. I would share the gospel with him. He wound up leaving and going to New York, living in New York. I get this knock on my door a few years later, and somebody's crying, Rodrigo, Rodrigo. And I look out to see who it is. It's the Catholic priest guy. And he says, I just had to come by here while I was visiting. I wanted to let you know, I'm pastoring a church now in New York. I'm like, you're pastoring a church? Yeah, I'm pastoring a Pentecostal church in New York. I got saved, the Lord saved me. And I'm like, hallelujah, thank God. All the situations were His glory. So. So anyway, so all these houses are new, all the stuff you see is new. Over the last 27 years. Our first church would meet out in the open field out here. Since then, we're able to get a couple grants, work with the community, and get a couple politicians actually to help donate money towards us building a community center, baseball field, right next to all our school and basketball courts and that kind of stuff. So we'll see that next. So we're able to build this baseball field. A lot of Yankee fans here, so they call it Little Yankee Stadium. We have several baseball teams on the roster that T.E.A.R.S supports.
A nice safe place to
Nice place for the kids to play.
Baseball is real big in the Dominican Republic.
We not too long ago were able to get night lights installed. We got night games. Some of the older leagues, the men's leagues, they like to play night. Way across there, you see our elementary school. Our kindergarten is on this side, and the elementary school is on the other side, the long building is there. And right in front of the elementary school, our basketball courts live. And altogether, we have 850 students.
All the grades, all the way up to
high school.
then you got the university program where they're doing scholarships, where they're going to various universities in the part of the country.
Yeah, and I think the last time I heard that we had about 65% of our students that graduated go to university or something like that.
Wow.
And then compared to the government schools, about 20%.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So you're really changing the situation economically for family by family in the barrio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
It's neat to see the kids. I see kids that I was hugging and holding as babies go all the way through T.E.A.R.S, get a scholarship, get their degree. They get their degree and come back and they're working with T.E.A.R.S school now. So we have several teachers on staff, and in our counseling center, people that have degrees. Most of them actually have the masters now.
Inelvi.
Yeah, he has his master's
went on the
degree.
trip last year to Santo Domingo.
Okay, yeah. He's doing, he's awesome. He grew up through T.E.A.R.S school. Michelle is one of the girls I talk about a lot. She came through T.E.A.R.S school. She got graduated. We were able to get her through college. She got a degree in psychology. And then we're able to get her a grant to go to Spain. So she went to Spain for 1 year. And her year in Spain, she got a master's degree. And she's back working in our counseling center. And so it's just neat to see the kids come through and how it's affected their family's well-being, the family's health and finances, and really breaking chains of poverty.
Do they have trade schools here, or are people just the trades they just learn because they're apprenticed to somebody?
Just apprentice to people.
Okay, so they don't have like trade.
But we want to do trade school. You were talking to Chelo, I'm sure about that.
No.
Really?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm always kind of.
That's one of the things on our burden.
Because one of the problems in the United States is everybody, well not everybody, a lot of people being taught, college is the way, and it's not, because when I built my house and property, I didn't need any, masters in Shakespearean. I needed somebody who knew how to regulate some bricks.
Yeah. So we definitely look at that, because if only 65% of our students do go to college, what are the other 35%?
Right.
And do that? Right. Does that whole 65% want to go to college?
Right. Yeah. Because some of them, their aptitude is building, bridge, trade, metal, like that guy. Who's doing real well, who has the iron business, where he's making
several trucks now and several people, and he just learned how to do it as a apprentice.
Yeah. Rod iron. This guy doing beautiful rod iron work, doing well, iron people and multiple trucks.
Multiple locations now. The further you go back, the poorer it gets. People just clear a lot on the side of the hill, and they're able to build their house wherever it is on the side of the hill, up the side of the hill.
So this is actually a street, quote unquote, up here.
Yeah.
Where you go up there and houses are
all the way up.
Or shanties
all the way up. But we're down here where a lot of houses are nicer, because they're a lot of block and stuff. But the further you go back up there, you'll see a lot of the houses.
How's the church
with
doing?
Oil cans and stuff like that. The church is actually building right now, so they're a lot further along than when you were here. Okay.
Qué linda. Ay, gracias.
I don't know if you guys noticed that they changed my name from Roderick Davis to Rodrigo.
I need a cool Spanish name. It just still won't work though. Here squatters,
All your side.
We're not squatters, we're the government. Seems like real big, they'll take their little money and gamble to try to get on the line.
And it could be like they bet 10 pesos. So 10 pesos would be like
about yeah. So they'll bet at these little places by buying a lottery ticket, and they may pay the equivalent of maybe 20 cents US.
No.
Trying to.
Then if they get lucky, then they might win $10.
And that's real. I mean, they'll be real happy. We're not advocating gambling. We're just explaining in the documentary what's going on. Holiness.com. We don't gamble.
So yeah, this is where we lived for the first 10 years of ministry. My kids grew up here, and yeah, we're family here. So normally strangers ain't walking around through here. That just don't happen.
So it's very community where kids will be walking around by themselves.
Everybody's taking care of everybody's kids. A lot of the mothers work in sweatshops. They don't have husbands. A lot of single moms. They work in sweatshops, zona franca. And their kids are just left here running around, fending for themselves until they get home, and hopefully they bring something to eat home. That kind of thing. The kids that get to go to our school, we've turned away literally thousands of kids. The kids that get to go to our school, they get breakfast, a snack, they get lunch, and they're with us from 7:45 to 3:45 in the afternoon. So they're well taken care of them. For some of them, that's the meals that they eat. It's what they eat with us. So when we come up on summer months, we have to figure out another program that we can continue to feed the kids there at least.
If the weather is so nice here, if somebody had a plot of land and orchestrated collecting this manure and seeds are cheap and cultivated, would it be beneficial?
Community garden, yeah.
Well, yeah, and actually maybe produce enough to then kind of give some feeding, like a summer program at the T.E.A.R.S. Would that be something that's like useful to do?
Yeah, I think.
Or do you have like vendors in place that could do like your summer and all your feeding?
There are vendors in place just outside of the city. There's a lot of farming going on. So you can get low cost or even government subsidies to get low cost foods and stuff. So there is that way to do it. We just got from UNICEF. We just got donated about 2,000 pounds of rice.
Oh, fantastic!
So that's
dried. That'll last.
And it's fortified rice. It has a lot more vitamins and minerals added to it.
And that'll last until
a long time.
Okay, and
But,
it'll stay preserved.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Stay preserved. There's a water plant on the other side of the hill. A couple of people have bought tubes from over there all the way over here.
Reservoirs.
Like from the reservoirs. So they brought them all the way down here, and then people pay money to connect to those, but they're pitch out. They have holes in them and cracked, and
they're on top of the ground,
sucking dirt and sucking all kind of.
So it's dangerous to drink it.
It's very dangerous to drink it. We were sick all the time in our early years, and that's one of the reasons we decided we wanted to get a water plant. But it actually wasn't our idea. It was the community's like, we're like, hey, what can we do in the community to help each other? And everybody's like, we're all sick. We need to get water. And I'm like, yeah, we do too. So we're able to start the water plant. And since then, we've 10x as far as the growth goes.
10 times.
So we have a capacity of about 150,000 gallons per month. Is about what they're doing. I think that's what it is.
Okay. So where's the church
Buen día, ¿cómo están ustedes? Amén, igual. Ahí, mijo, se le echó un platico ahí hasta que el Señor vuelve y mande otra bendición.
Eso está.
Tan grande, Rodrigo, está allá arriba, mira, parece un play así.
¿Recuerdan a mí?
Sí.
Año pasado.
Sí.
Sí.
Hola, negra.
Hola.
¿Cómo están? Bien.
Mis dos
Bien.
hijas.
Sí, tan grande. Qué hombre se desgaritó de ahí, no voy a más.
Pero es verdad.
Sí.
¿Pero se murió o no?
No.
Está
No es
vivo.
había muerto, pero está vivo.
Porque ya eso.
Sí, lo tumbaron ahí, la familia, de que pasó un cuarto allí, no han hecho nada, y que creen que le dejan a uno ahí. Hoy me puse yo a tirar la basura para arriba.
Ay.
¿Y ustedes bien?
¿Cómo está su iglesia?
Mira, mi amor, tenemos más de un año con ella parada y ahora hacen como 2 meses, 3 que le echan el plato.
Yeah, so it's been stopped on sanitary for almost a year. Just a couple months ago, we were able to pour the roof on it.
¿Tiene servicio
Ahí en la calle.
down here?
Out here in the street, yeah, they bring plastic chairs and send them right out.
Cuando
Okay.
llueve no hay culto.
No, that's cool.
Okay, so
When it
they're
rains, there's no.
no shelter. So they're working on this church and building it still. So they have to have services like on Sunday or whatever, bringing plastic chairs out in the street. No protection. It rains a lot, you know, kind of tropical feel here, and no protection from the rain when they've got service going on. But they're working on what, another level.
No, they just
Roof. They
They
need to put a roof. What did they do with the pit?
Those are food. So
No, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Those are for eating.
Yeah, they eat those.
Mi amor.
All right.
Ah, vamos a buscar cuarto.
All right.
Nelly, hablamos.
Con Dios.
The old guy's house here, this debris, it just collapsed.
So they just finished knocking it all the way down.
So they just went ahead and finished knocking it down because it collapsed. And it was like, this was a corrugated steel.
Right?
And they just, you know, they kind of just grab some wood, scrap wood, and make them a house in wood and steel.
Wood tin.
You know, tin.
They take old oil cans and cut them open and hammer them flat.
Old oil cans, hammer it flat, and make,
Ay, sí.
Yo, papi. Y poro. There are little hundreds of those alleys and little walkways that go all the way up the side of the hill. And they all have little shanties that people have been building. You can tell people have been here for 20 years, 30 years. And the people have been here for just a couple of years.
wow. So the government will let them pass these homes from generation to generation.
Yeah, there's a big move right now to try to get actual titles for all of that.
Yeah.
So they can actually pass that helps with generational wealth.
So they have to establish that you at least got a home. So today is a Saturday. So kids are out of school and you know, run around. And T.E.A.R.S has provided, you know, baseball field, basketball. So you know they have somewhere. You know, many of them just can come here and play.
A lot of them deal at the soccer field later on.
At the high school. Okay. Like here, somebody living in here.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed something, but if you look around and look at these houses and look at other stuff, stop being intrusive. If you look at them, there's one thing they all have in common. What is it? See how observant you are.
Color? Really?
They all have meters on them.
Oh.
See that meter right there? There's meters for every house. It doesn't matter if it's a tin roof shack.
Everybody has a meter.
Everybody has a meter.
They have to pay electricity because they were tapping off of each other.
They were
back
tap
in-
off the top, exactly, and stealing, but they knocked all that stuff down. Put in new poles, higher poles, and then transformers, and then they blitz the whole barrio. Every house is standing, it has one light bulb, has to have a meter on it. And if they don't pay their light bill, even it might be 50 cents for the month or $1. If they don't pay it, they're here the next day cutting their power. T.E.A.R.S water plant has a couple trucks, and as we expand, we hope to move to 15, 20 trucks over the next couple years.
And then that allows you to really deliver throughout the whole Maria.
We can't keep up right now. We can't keep up with this barrio. So this smaller truck does the barrio here. A larger truck go outside the barrio.
Besides
Individuals outside the barrio come in to get water here.
outside Maria.
To the door. Adiós, 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 adiós.